Hello and welcome back. This is the 25th video in the Flow Certified Professional online training series. We're going to be looking at Agile Management Coaching. Agile Coaching and Management Consulting are two of your leadership takeaways here. And the one looks at anticipatory vision, the other looks at operational excellence. And the abilities for both of these are, for the agile coaching, it's the ability to see, and for the management consulting, it's the ability to scale. And I think these two polar opposites for both of these are some of the primary friction points between agile coaching and management consulting. And I think that it shouldn't be an either or, it should be a both and situation. I'd like to thank Rod Willis, director and co-founder of Accentire in United Kingdom, for his presentation at Agilia 2018 in the Czech Republic, for the inspiration for this part of the flow training. He used a very similar pattern, and we're going to go through this here now. It's a both and, not an either or. And when you put those two together, which is probably the agile purists are all going to be pulling out their hair by now. It's a combination of agile coaching and management consulting. So it's agile management coaching. Created a new phrase and a new buzzword for you all. On the agile coaching side, over here, it's the ability to see. You got innovation and anticipatory vision. And you'll notice that I've put the VSPT from management consulting, vision, strategy, people, and tasks, right here at the intersection in this infinity symbol. Okay. On the management consulting side, we're looking at operational excellence. And then there needs to be that point for creative destruction. If you listened closely in the Nokia story that I shared about the Nokia iPhone, or the Nokia touchscreen phone that they had ready to go in 2004, years ahead of the iPhone. Years ahead of the iPhone's release. They didn't have the ability to do creative destruction. They thought operational excellence was all that they needed. And this half, the other half, totally disappeared. So, I applied the 4D model to both halves. So on the innovation side, you need to define, distill, deliver, and drive. So you need to look at your innovation, define and distill, and figure out, using anticipatory vision, what is it that's over the horizon where we're going to be able to capitalize on the market in a way that everybody will go, how did they do that? Okay. And so you use the 4D model on the left side of the organization. And that's a lot to do with people and tasks. Okay. But then you're going to repeat the steps over here on operational excellence to scale what you're trying to do. You're going to have your definitions for operational excellence. You're going to distill the processes and best practices. And you're going to deliver those, and you're going to drive using the numbers, because you can measure increase in sales. You can measure savings of costs. You can measure mitigating or getting rid of risk. Doing the right thing, probably measurable from a brand image standpoint, but much tougher to measure accurately. It goes from more accurate to least accurate in the progression that I have. The left side. Now I grayed out everything on the right side here for right now. On this left side, it's all about your ability to see and disrupt. And that means disrupting your own company. The story that people might not know about Nokia is that they started out making rubber boots and car tires. The guys at Ericsson love to ask, hey, how's it over at the rubber boot company? When they would be teasing their friends at Nokia. And Nokia made the decision in the early 90s to actually use the ability to see and disrupt. And they disrupted themselves. They did creative destruction. And they said, this is the future. We're investing in this. And it's really interesting because AT&T in the U.S. already had a mobile phone system set and ready to go in 1948, and they never rolled it out. So once again, it just shows that companies don't always understand what they have in their own portfolio. And if they really took the time to understand what they have, they would be able to see it and then do the right kind of disrupting. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting, because on the side of the ability to see and disrupt, you manage by pattern. Did you catch that? Agile is all about pattern recognition. It's the ability to see the patterns and manage to that. And it's an achiever mindset. And this becomes really important as we continue to go through the figure eight. Now, we apply the 4D model to increase your ability to scale. And we use VSPT and we use a whole bunch of other tools to help you scale your organization. And so basically, the ability to scale includes managing by fact. Have you not heard executives say, show me the numbers, show me the numbers? And it's an expert mindset. Management consultants have spent years or decades becoming experts at what they do. Well, it's the same for the Agilists. It's been around for 2 decades now. Some of us actually were doing Agile before Agile became Agile. So I've been doing this for 25 years. And so I'm an expert in this area, sure, whatever. But expert doesn't mean anything. What means something is your ability to deliver results, okay? And so you need to understand that management consultants are going to manage by fact and that they're going to be experts at what they do. And that's why they routinely eat Agilists for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, part of drive is leadership that knows when to use creative destruction to their advantage, okay? So you're going from this green over to the light blue again, that you're going from operational excellence and you're driving and you know when it's the right time to do creative destruction, just like Nokia did when they switched from being a rubber boot and a car tire company to a major global electronics company. That was an amazing story of the things that they did build. Okay, so they did it once, but they failed to continue with the figure eight. And again, thanks to Rod Willis for the inspiration for this, because I felt that this really helped people understand that it's not an either or, it's a both and. And so when the Agile purists are out there saying, we have to only have Agile, management's the root of all evil, I don't see where Agile has stepped up, except maybe via DevOps or things like that. But in general, Agile hasn't stepped up and shown us how you apply Agile to operational excellence. Toyota was doing lean decades before you guys were doing Agile. And Agile is really an offshoot of lean if you really go back into history and look at it. So it's really not anything new. So What we're looking at here is Agile Coaching and Management Consulting. You need anticipatory vision in the Agile side, operational excellence at the other end, and the abilities are the abilities to see and the abilities to scale. Now, these are the hard questions that you'll need to ask, especially if you're an Agilist watching this. Do you consider yourself a purist regarding traditional methodologies of leadership, or a purist regarding agile methodologies of leadership? Because I know a lot of project managers who think what they do is the best thing ever. And if they think 16% success is great, um, I have a hard time with that. Same for the agile methodologies, because I'm still waiting for them to show me how what they're doing actually contributes to operational excellence. And so until both sides put down their knives and weapons and start to talk like rational adults with each other, the sniping is going to continue. It's gotten so bad that even on the Agile side, the purist side, with the Agiles, Scrum Alliance sued Scrum.org so that the inventor of Scrum isn't even allowed to use his own stuff. So I've heard another proverb along the way that a house divided against itself won't stand. And so that doesn't mean that their methodologies are wrong, but politics have reared their ugly head because they've gone to court and sued each other over this. But anyways, so remember, it's a both and, it's not an either or. I view this that if you want to really be good at agile transformation, you need the tool sets and the mindsets and the skill sets from both agile and traditional and from management consulting. I know that the purists aren't going to like to hear that. Oh well. I've seen companies who have actually been able to combine that and perform extremely well. Menlo Innovations in Ann Arbor, Michigan would be a really good example of that. You can read their book, A Joy Incorporated, to understand how they were able to do what they did. But I believe that they balanced those two items extremely well. Operational excellence with the innovation and anticipatory vision that you need from Agile.